Okay, so today we're diving into something that might not seem super exciting at first glance,
Yeah.
but trust me, it gets pretty interesting.
Oh, it does.
We're talking about bathroom ventilation.
That's right.
We found this article called How to Improve Bathroom Ventilation for a Fresher Home. And honestly,
Yeah,
I had no idea how much of an impact it actually has on your health and your home's well-being. So
right.
we're going to dive deep into that.
It really does.
The article starts off by talking about why ventilation is so important in the first place.
Uh-huh.
And, it makes sense, right? Think about it, your bathroom.
Yeah.
That's like a humidity factory.
It is. Every time you take a shower, it's like creating your own personal sauna in there.
Exactly. And all that steam, all that moisture, it's got to go somewhere.
It does. And if it doesn't have anywhere to go, that's when you start running into problems.
That's when you get the mold and mildew, right?
Exactly. Mold, mildew, commiteria, they all love those damp, humid environments.
Oh, that's just gross.
It is. And it's not good for your health either.
I was just thinking that because it can't be healthy to be breathing in all that mold and mildew.
No, not at all. It can lead to all sorts of respiratory problems like allergies, asthma, even worse things in some cases.
So it's not just about your bathroom looking gross, it's about your actual health.
Exactly.
And the article also mentioned something that I hadn't really thought about before, which is the damage that all that moisture can do to your home.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I knew it wasn't good, but I didn't realize it could be that serious.
Oh, it can be. Think about it. All that moisture seeping into your walls, your ceilings, your floors.
Right.
It can warp wood, peel paint, even damage your fixtures.
Wow. So it's not just about comfort. It's about protecting your investment in your home, too.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we've established that ventilation is important, but now what? What do we actually do about it?
Right. So the article goes on to talk about choosing the right bathroom fan.
Okay, and this is where I start to get a little lost because there are so many different options out there.
Yeah, there are a lot of choices, but it's not as complicated as it might seem.
Okay, okay.
The key thing to look for is the CFM rating, which stands for cubic feet per minute.
CFM. Got it.
And that basically tells you how much air the fan can move.
So the higher the CFM, the more powerful the fan.
Exactly. So you want to choose a fan with a CFM that's appropriate for the size of your bathroom.
Makes sense.
If you have a small bathroom, you don't need a super powerful fan.
Right.
But if you have a larger bathroom, you'll need something that can really move some air.
Got it. So CFM's important. What else?
Well, another thing to consider is the noise level.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Nobody wants a fan that sounds like a jet engine taking off.
Exactly, especially if your bathroom is close to a bedroom or living area.
Right.
So you want to look for fans with lower decibel ratings.
Okay, so CFM and noise level. Anything else I should be keeping in mind when I'm shopping for a fan?
Well, there are a few different types of fans out there.
Oh, right. Like what?
You've got your classic exhaust fans, which are the most common type.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm most familiar with.
They're pretty simple. They just suck the air out of your bathroom and vent it outside.
Right.
Then you've got things like HRV systems, which stand for heat recovery ventilation.
HRV. Okay, I've heard of those, but I don't really know what they do.
They're a little more sophisticated, and they're especially popular in colder climates.
Okay, I've got 'em.
Because they don't just exhaust the air, they also recover the heat from that air.
Wait, what? So they take the heat from the air that they're exhausting and use it to warm up the fresh air that's coming in.
Exactly. So you're not just throwing away all that heat energy, you're actually reusing it.
Wow, that's amazing. I never knew that was even possible.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool technology.
That would be awesome, especially during the winter when it's freezing outside.
Absolutely.
So exhaust fans, HRVs, what other kinds of fans are there?
Well, there are also balanced fan systems.
Balanced fan systems. I don't think I've ever heard of those.
They're not as common, but they're becoming more popular.
What's so special about them?
They actually use two fans to constantly circulate fresh air in and out of your bathroom.
Oh, wow. So it's like having a 247 air purifier for your bathroom.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And it's a great option if you're really concerned about air quality.
Okay, so we've got exhaust fans, HRVs, balanced fan systems. It seems like there's a solution for every need and budget.
There is.
But what if I'm not in a position to replace my fan right now? Are there any other things I can do to improve ventilation?
Absolutely. There are a few simple things you can do.
Like what?
Well, first of all, make sure you're actually using your fan.
That seems obvious, but I'll admit I'm sometimes guilty of forgetting to turn it on.
A lot of people are, but it really does make a difference.
Okay, I'll try to be better about that. What else?
You can also open a window while you're showering, if you have one.
Right, to let some of that steam escape.
Exactly.
Any other tips?
You can also crack the door open a bit. Even just a little bit can help to improve airflow. And if you live in a particularly humid climate, you might want to consider using a dehumidifier.
Okay, those are all good tips, and I think they're things that most people can realistically do.
Exactly.
So it's not like you have to go out and spend a ton of money to make a difference.
Right.
Now, the article also mentioned something about ventilation systems, like centralized and ductless systems. What are those all about?
So those are more whole home solutions rather than just focusing on the bathroom.
Okay.
Centralized systems are typically installed when a house is being built.
So they're not really an option for most people who are just trying to improve ventilation in their existing bathroom.
Right, unless you're doing a major renovation.
Got it.
Ductless systems are a bit more flexible. They can be added to existing homes.
Okay, and how do those work?
They basically consist of an outdoor unit and one or more indoor units.
And they're connected by refrigerant lines.
Exactly.
So if you're looking to improve ventilation throughout your entire home, a ductless system might be a good option.
It could.
Now, one thing that I found really interesting in the article was the section on the future of bathroom ventilation.
Oh, yeah.
They talked about things like smart home integration and all these new materials that are being developed.
It's pretty amazing how technology is changing everything, even something as simple as bathroom ventilation.
Right, like imagine a fan that automatically adjusts based on the humidity level in your bathroom.
Or a fan that you can control with your voice.
Or even a fan that knows when you're showering and turns on automatically.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty endless.
And they also mentioned some new materials that can actually purify the air without even needing a fan.
Right, like materials that can absorb pollutants and neutralize them.
That's incredible. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
It is, but it's becoming a reality.
So the future of bathroom ventilation sounds pretty bright.
It does.
But for now, let's shift gears and talk about what real people are saying about this topic,
Okay.
because we found some really interesting comments on the article.
Yeah, the comment section is always a good place to get a sense of what people are actually thinking and experiencing.
Absolutely. So let's dive into some of those comments and see what we can learn.
Sounds good.
All right, first up, we have Elliot.
Okay.
And Elliot seems to be very concerned about the connection between bathroom ventilation and oil prices.
Oil prices. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm not sure I see the link either, but let's hear him out.
Okay.
So Elliot writes, and I quote, "With the price of oil skyrocketing, we need to start thinking about how we can reduce our energy consumption in every area of our lives. And that includes bathroom ventilation."
Okay, I see where he's coming from, but I'm not sure bathroom ventilation is the biggest energy hog in most homes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I do appreciate his point about being mindful of our energy consumption.
Absolutely, that's always important.
Now, Tobias chimes in with a much more practical perspective.
Okay, what does Tobias have to say?
Tobias writes, "I recently upgraded my bathroom ventilation with a high CFM fan, a dehumidifier, and a smart thermostat that can detect changes in humidity and temperature, and let me tell you, it's made a world of difference."
It sounds like Tobias has done his research.
He has, and he's clearly someone who values a well-ventilated bathroom.
I can appreciate that.
Now, Melissa's not buying Elliot's argument at all.
Oh, really?
Nope. She writes, "Come on, Elliot, are you serious? Trying to connect bathroom ventilation to oil prices is a bit of a stretch, don't you think?"
Oh, I can see Melissa's point, too.
Yeah, I think she's right. It's important to be realistic about where our energy is actually going.
Absolutely.
Now, this is where things get really interesting. Israel jumps in and tries to defend Elliot's point by drawing a connection between bathroom ventilation and the use of petroleum-based cleaning products.
Okay, this I've got to hear.
Israel writes, "I think Elliot has a point. If we improve air quality in our bathrooms, we might be less inclined to use harsh chemical cleaners, which are often made from petroleum products."
That's an interesting angle.
Right, so it's not a direct connection, but there is a potential link there.
I guess in a roundabout way, improving bathroom ventilation could lead to a slight decrease in oil consumption.
Exactly, it's all interconnected.
It is.
Okay, next up we have Jessica, and she brings in a whole new dimension to the conversation.
Okay, what does Jessica say?
Jessica writes, "With the Republicans set to take control of both the House and Senate, I'm worried about what's going to happen to our energy policies. We need to make sure that clean energy and energy efficiency remain top priorities."
Wow, Jessica's bringing in the politics.
She is, and it's a good reminder that these issues are often connected to larger political and social forces.
Absolutely.
All right, Brian chimes in with a very practical question.
Okay, what's Brian's question?
Brian writes, "I'm curious, what's the most significant factor contributing to poor bathroom ventilation in modern homes? Is it the trend toward compact designs or the increasing use of water-efficient fixtures?"
That's a great question, and it's one that the article actually touches on.
Yeah, they talk about how compact designs can sometimes prioritize aesthetics over functionality.
Right, and that can lead to reduced airflow and increased humidity.
And they also mention that water-efficient fixtures, while great for conserving water, can sometimes result in less water being used to flush away contaminants.
So it's a balancing act, trying to find the sweet spot between efficiency, sustainability, and health.
Exactly. And finally, we have Kali, who offers a really thought-provoking perspective.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does Kali say?
Kali writes, you know, neglecting proper bathroom ventilation is kind of like denying systemic racism. Both are issues that we often choose to ignore because they're uncomfortable to confront, but ignoring them only makes the problem worse.
Wow, that's a powerful analogy.
It is, and it really makes you think about the bigger picture.
It does.
It's a reminder that our choices and actions have consequences, even in seemingly small areas like bathroom ventilation. So we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our bathroom ventilation deep dive, from the importance of proper ventilation to the different types of fans and ventilation systems, and even the political and social implications of this seemingly mundane topic.
It's amazing how much there is to unpack here.
It is, and we've only just scratched the surface.
Right, we still have a lot more to explore.
So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll recap the key takeaways and offer some practical advice for improving ventilation in your own bathroom.
And we'll delve even deeper into some of the more philosophical and societal implications of this topic.
We'll be right back after a short break.
See you soon. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but after that last segment, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed.
Oh, I hear you. There's just so much to think about when it comes to bathroom ventilation. Who knew? But you know what? I think it would be helpful
Yeah?
to take a step back for a minute and just recap the key takeaways so far.
I think that's a good idea.
So first and foremost,
Mhm.
proper bathroom ventilation. It's not just about comfort. It's really about protecting your health and your home.
Right, we talked about how all that moisture from showering can create the perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew.
Exactly. And those things can cause all sorts of respiratory problems.
Yeah, and don't forget about the damage that moisture can do to your house itself.
Oh, right. The warped floors, the peeling paint, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, none of that is good.
Not good at all. So, okay, we know that ventilation is important, but what do we actually do about it?
Well, the article goes into a lot of detail about choosing the right bathroom fan.
Right. And we talked about CFM, cubic feet per minute,
Exactly.
which basically tells you how powerful the fan is.
Right, the higher the CFM, the more air the fan can move.
So you want to make sure you get a fan with a CFM rating that's appropriate for the size of your bathroom.
Exactly.
And we also talked about noise level, because who wants a fan that sounds like a jet engine?
No one, especially if your bathroom is close to a bedroom.
Definitely not. So look for fans with lower decibel ratings if noise is a concern.
The tip.
And then there are all the different types of fans.
Right.
We've got exhaust fans, HRV systems, balanced fan systems.
There's a lot to choose from.
There is. But it's good to have options. That way you can find the best solution for your specific needs and budget.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing that I'm really excited about is the future of bathroom ventilation,
Oh, yeah, the article hinted at some pretty cool things.
like smart home integration.
Uh-huh.
Imagine a fan that automatically adjusts based on the humidity level in your bathroom,
That would be awesome.
or a fan that you can control with your voice.
I mean, that's just next level.
Right. And then they talked about these new materials that are being developed.
Oh, yeah, the ones that can actually purify the air without even needing a fan.
Exactly. Can you believe that?
It's pretty wild.
It really is. The future of bathroom ventilation sounds amazing.
It does.
But even without all the fancy tech, there are things we can do right now to improve ventilation in our bathrooms.
Absolutely.
Like Tobias in the comments section. He had some great advice.
Oh, yeah, what did he suggest?
He recommended using a dehumidifier, especially if you live in a humid climate.
That's a good idea.
And he also said that if you have a smart thermostat, you can check if it has humidity control features.
Oh, right, so it can automatically adjust the ventilation based on the moisture levels in the air.
Exactly. You know, what's really struck me throughout this whole deep dive is how important it is to be mindful of the air we breathe.
That's so true.
We often take it for granted, but the quality of the air in our homes can have a huge impact on our health and well-being.
It really can.
And it's not just about bathroom ventilation. It's about making sure that all the spaces in our homes are properly ventilated.
Absolutely.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, let's all make a conscious effort to breathe easier.
I love that.
And now for something completely different. We're going to shift gears and dive into a topic that's been making headlines lately.
Okay, what is it?
Artificial intelligence, specifically how AI is going to impact the job market.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It is, and it's one that we need to start thinking about now.
Absolutely.
So buckle up, because we're about to enter the world of robots, algorithms, and the future of work.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Wow. Who would have thought we'd end up talking about artificial intelligence and the future of work after starting with bathroom ventilation?
It's funny how these deep dives take on a life of their own, isn't it? You start in one place and end up somewhere completely unexpected.
Totally. But before we completely shift gears, I actually had one more thought about bathroom ventilation that I wanted to bounce off of you.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So we talked about all this cool new tech,
Right.
right? Like materials that purify the air naturally, smart fans, all that stuff.
Yeah, some pretty amazing innovations on the horizon.
And it got me thinking, what if, in the future, the bathroom becomes more than just a place to get clean? What if it becomes like a sanctuary for self-care,
Oh, I like where you're going with this.
right? Like imagine a bathroom that not only has fresh, clean air, but it's also infused with calming scents. Or maybe it has mood-boosting light therapy built in.
That's a really interesting idea. It's like taking the concept of a spa bathroom to a whole new level.
Exactly. It becomes a space where you can de-stress, recharge, and really focus on your well-being.
I think that's a beautiful vision, and it aligns with this growing trend of people wanting their homes to be sanctuaries from the stresses of daily life.
Totally. So yeah, maybe the future of bathroom ventilation is about more than just moving air around. Maybe it's about creating a space that truly nourishes our minds and bodies.
Well said. I think we've really come full circle here.
We have, from the practicalities of choosing the right fan to envisioning a bathroom that promotes holistic well-being.
It's been quite a journey.
And I have to say, I've learned so much along the way. I never realized how much there was to know about bathroom ventilation.
Me neither. But that's what makes these deep dives so rewarding.
They challenge our assumptions, expand our knowledge, and hopefully inspire us to make positive changes in our own lives.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to take a moment and think about your own bathroom ventilation. Is it doing everything it could to support your health and well-being?
And if not, maybe it's time for an upgrade.
Whether it's something simple like remembering to use your fan more often or investing in a new system, every step you take towards better ventilation is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll all have those spa-like bathrooms of the future.
A bathroom that purifies the air, calms the mind, and rejuvenates the spirit.
Now that's something to look forward to.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the surprisingly fascinating world of bathroom ventilation.
Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and breathe easy.